Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this explosive breakdown of one of the most jaw-dropping moments in daytime television history. Imagine the bright lights of ABC's The View studio buzzing with the usual energy co-hosts Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, Sarah Haynes, and Alyssa Farah Griffin seated around that iconic table, ready to dive into hot topics, celebrity interviews, and unfiltered opinions. The date is September 15, 2025. Just a week before the current buzz on September 21st, and the show is live from New York City, drawing in millions of viewers eager for their daily dose of wit, wisdom, and occasional drama. Today's guest is none other than LeAnn Rimes, the country pop sensation whose career has been a roller coaster of triumphs, scandals, and redemptions. At 43 years old, Rimes is no stranger to the spotlight. She burst onto the scene as a 12-year-old prodigy with her haunting cover of Blue, winning a Grammy and selling millions worldwide. But her life offstage has been equally captivating: a marriages, tabloid frenzies, and a recent pivot to wellness advocacy with her soulful album The Storyteller's Dream, released just months ago to critical acclaim. She's here to promote not only the album but also her new book, Voices of Resilience, Surviving the Spotlight, a memoir laced with raw confessions about mental health struggles, body shaming in Hollywood, and the cutthroat world of young stardom. As the audience applauds her entrance, Rimes glides onto the set in a flowing emerald green dress that hugs her curves just right, her blonde waves cascading perfectly, a warm smile masking the nerves that always flutter before a live taping. Whoopi kicks things off with her signature charm. "LeAnn, honey, you've been singing our hearts out since we were all debating dial-up versus slow. Welcome back." Laughter ripples through the crowd, and Rimes settles into the guest chair, crossing her legs elegantly, ready to chat. The segment starts light. They reminisce about her early days on the Grand Ole Opry, the thrill of her first chart topper, and how she's evolved from child star to empowered artist. Sunny Hostin leans in, eyes sparkling. "Girl, how do I live still makes me ugly cry. Tell us, what's the secret to that emotional depth?" Rimes chuckles, her Texas drawl soft and inviting. "Oh, Sunny, it's all in the heartbreak. I've had plenty to draw from." The banter flows smoothly, with Sarah Haynes gushing over Rimes' vocal range and Alyssa Farah Griffin nodding along, sharing a quick aside about resilience in public life. But then, as the clock ticks toward the midway mark, Joy Behar, the 83-year-old firebrand known for her razor-sharp tonguing no-holds-barred style, shifts the tone. Joy, with her signature bob haircut and that mischievous glint in her eye, has built a career on calling out hypocrisy, whether it's politicians, celebrities, or even her own co-hosts. She's fresh off a viral clip from last week's episode where she roasted a guest's political flip-flopping, earning cheers and a few think pieces on Joy's unapologetic feminism. Today, she's locked eyes on Rimes, and the air thickens just a tad. "LeAnn, darling," Joy begins, her voice dripping with that faux sweet sarcasm she wields like a weapon. "We love a comeback story. You've had your share of that whole Eddie Cibrian affair back in 2009, stepping in as the other woman while he was married to Brandi Glanville. The headlines were brutal: homewrecker, fame chaser, you name it. And now, here you are, all healed and hawking self-help books on resilience. Isn't that just the ultimate glow-up, or is it a bit convenient?" The studio falls into a hush. You could hear a pin drop amid the faint hum of cameras. Rimes' smile falters for a split second, her fingers tightening around the armrest, but she recovers with poise that's been honed over decades in the glare. "Joy, that's ancient history," she replies evenly, her voice steady but laced with an undercurrent of steel. "I've owned my mistakes, gone to therapy, rebuilt my family. My book isn't about glossing over Ida, it's about the real work of forgiveness, for myself and others." Whoopi jumps in to smooth the edges. "Absolutely, and that's powerful stuff. Joy, you know all about owning your truther. Remember that time you walked off set with Whoopi during the O'Reilly interview?" Laughter breaks the tension momentarily, but Joy isn't done. She's leaning forward now, her glasses perched low on her nose, that telltale smirk widening. "Oh, I do, Whoopi, and I stand by it." "But LeAnn, let's get real. You were 12 when you hit it big." "Sure, but that affair?" "You were 27, a grown woman, choosing to torpedo a marriage with kids involved. And the public ate it up. Aired Wet with Eddie, the reality show, all of it. Now you're the poster child for mental health. Honey, that's not resilience, that's rebranding. How do you sleep at night knowing Brandi Glanville still calls you out on podcasts, saying you stole her life? The audience murmurs, a mix of gasps and uneasy chuckles. Some clap for Joy's boldness, others shift uncomfortably. Rimes' cheeks flush a soft pink, her blue eyes narrowing as she processes the ambush. This isn't the fluffy promo chat she prepped for. This is a full frontal assault, dredging up a scandal that's defined her for over a decade, one she spent years trying to transcend through charity work, sobriety, and advocacy for young performers. Joy, she says, her tone sharpening like a melody turning minor key, I get that you're provocative, it's your brand, but this isn't 2009. I've apologized publicly, to Brandi, to everyone. We co-parent now, and Eddie's kids call me Mom. My book's about turning pain into purpose and not excusing it. If you're asking if I regret it, yes, every day. But shaming me here, on national TV, doesn't help anyone heal. Sarah Haynes winces visibly, mouthing oath to the camera. While Sunny Hosting tries to pivot, LeAnn, your work with the Blue Foundation for Child Stars is incredibly. Let's talk about that. But Joy waves her off, undeterred, her New York accent thickening with passion. Shaming? Please. I'm holding a mirror up. Hollywood's full of women who play victim after playing villain. You wrote the songs. You lived the drama. Own it without the therapy. Speak Polish. Or is this just another performance? The words hang heavy, the studio lights suddenly feeling too hot, too exposing. Rimes sits there, heart pounding, memories flashing. The paparazzi swarms outside her home, the death threats, the therapy sessions where she unpacked her codependency and the thrill of forbidden love. She's come so far sober for years, a loving stepmom, a voice for the voiceless in an industry that chews up kids like her. But Joy's barbs hit the old wounds, reopening scars she thought were sealed. The co-hosts sense the shift. Alyssa Fair Griffin, ever the mediator, chimes in softly, Joy, maybe we can agree that growth looks different for everyone, but it's too late. The spark is lit. Rimes takes a deep breath, her chest rising and falling, and in that moment, the world watches a woman who's survived child stardom, tabloid hell, and personal demons decide she's had enough. This isn't just an interview gone wrong, it's a collision of generations, of unfiltered truth versus curated redemption, playing out in real time for 3.5 million viewers. And as the confrontation escalates, what follows will send shockwaves through social media, late-night monologues, and the inner circles of daytime TV. Stay tuned, because the walk-off is just the beginning. As the tension coils tighter in the View studio, LeAnn Rimes straightens her posture, her emerald dress catching the light like a beacon of defiance amid the brewing storm. Joy Behar, oblivious or perhaps reveling in the discomfort, doubles down with that trademark blend of humor and bite that's made her a legend and a lightning rod. Look, LeAnn, I admire the hustle, Joy continues, gesturing animatedly with her hands, rings glinting under the spots, but let's not pretend this is some noble phoenix rising tale. You went from blue-eyed ingenue to tabloid temptress, and now you're selling scented candles and self-care seminars. It's giving oops, I did it again vibes, but without the Britney apology tour. The audience erupts in a split reaction, a half laughing at Joy's pop culture jab, the other half groaning at the insensitivity, a few bold souls shouting let her speak. From the back rows, Whoopi Goldberg, the steady hand at the helm, raises her eyebrows, her voice a low rumble of caution. Joy, ease up, we're here to celebrate LeAnn's journey, not autopsy it. But Rimes, her face a mask of controlled emotion, feels the word slice deeper than intended. She spent the last 16 years rebuilding, therapy marathons in Malibu, yoga retreats in Bali, writing sessions where she poured out the guilt over Eddie Cibrian's divorce from Brandi Glanville, the custody battles, the public crucifixion that turned her into a punchline on Saturday Night Live sketches. Her marriage to Eddie since 2011 has been her anchor. 2 daughters, a blended family Christmas card that screams stability, but the scars linger, especially when Joy, a woman Rimes once admired for her fearlessness, wields her platform like a sledgehammer. Joy, Rimes interjects, her voice rising just an octave, clear and resonant like the opening notes of Borrowed. I didn't come here to relitigate my past. I've done that in therapy, in my music, in